Yo, what's up guys, BLC here, and I'm back with another tutorial for Tutorial Tuesday, and I just can't pronounce tutorial right, I'm sorry, but yeah. Today I'll be talking about workflow, meaning shortcuts and all that kind of stuff, which is actually like probably the most important tutorial that I'll ever do. And yeah, I hope you guys can keep some of that stuff I'll show you, and maybe you want to write some shortcuts down and all that, and yeah, it'll help you out a bunch. And let's go. So, first of all, new composition, Control and N, like you can see here. I mean, it's not that useful to know that shortcut, but you want to keep every shortcut you can get, so whatever. Then new layer is for new solid is Control Y. I didn't use these shortcuts for new layers and all that so often, but you want to know them, as I said. So yeah, let's go over the transform shortcuts. So by that I mean, if you go over here, you have these shortcuts or these values, and to get those are probably the most useful shortcuts you can learn, and that being the anchor point being A. So just press A on your keyboard, then position P, rotation R, transparency, opacity or transparency T. So T for transparency. And what else? S for scale. There you go. So P A T R S. And yeah, I think that's everything. Those A P S R T. Yep, that's everything. And those are probably the most useful ones if you're editing. You don't always want to come here, click on that button to get that drop down menu and then like change your values, because it first of all this takes an awful lot of space in your timeline, and just having it like that is just way easier to overlook. And by the way, I should probably show you this. If you have something up, like let's press P, so you have that value, and you wanna have the rotation as well, you hold down Shift and you press R. So you can do that with everything, S and A. There you go. Now we have those all selected, and you can reverse that as well. So you can just yeah, hide those you don't want to see, and that's probably pretty useful, I suppose. And yeah, what else? Tremor Layer. That's something I haven't even like completely figured out. What I normally do is go to where click on my layer, and then press Control Shift and D, and that'll cut your layer into two parts, and then just delete the part I don't want to have. Or oh yeah, by the way, to undo is Control and Z, and Control Shift Z is redo. It should be actually. Why is it not doing anything? Oh well. Wait, let's delete that. Control Z, undo. Control Shift and C, redo. Alright, there you go. So split your layers, Control Shift D. That's pretty cool. And another one I just like got around to using more often recently is pre-composing a layer. So you wanna, let's say we get multiple layers here, or it doesn't have to be multiple ones. You just select them, or the one you have, and press Control Shift and C. There you go. That's a pre-comp, and normally yeah, you can just do it that way. It's a lot faster than just going to layer, drop all the way down here, and press pre-compose here, That's how I did it like for years, but then I kind of realized how often I do that and how much time I can actually save myself just by cutting away these 2 extra seconds every time I want to pre-compose something. So you basically want to ask yourself, what do I do the most while editing? And then you want to learn the short key or the shortcut for that. And that way you can save yourself a lot of time. So let's say you're always pre-composing something, just learn that shortcut. Let's say you're always cutting something into 2 halves, just learn a shortcut. That was one of the first ones I learned because I do that all the time. What else? Setting your render region is something, I mean, it is useful at the end of an edit, but really you don't use that often. But it's kind of annoying to set the render region like that and just drag it down here. It's kind of annoying when your when your PC isn't that fast. So a shortcut for that is N for the back one here, and that's actually normal. That way it just leaves another a frame here, so that way it just stops the render on that frame where we at. And for the one in front, you want to press B, and there you go. Okay. Next one, let's say you have a couple of markers here. By the way, that's how you drag out markers. And you want to go through them. I think it's J. No, it's K. No. Wait. G. No. L. Damn it. I don't actually know that keyframe too well. Sometimes I just figure it out, like by myself, then I just forget. What is it? God damn it. No. Do I have to click? No. Oh well. There's some keyframe for that, but some button for that, I mean. But you can actually go in here and hold down shift and it will snap to those markers, but I'm just trying to remember what that button was. No. Okay, never mind then. Alright. Another thing is if you have like your comp size, if you have zoomed out or something like that, like just scroll the mouse to zoom in or out, and you want to go back to your whole frame, just go here, press select fit, and there you go. That actually is pretty useful to know. Alright. So that's like shortcuts and all that. If I come across something, yeah, there you go. Just remembered something for tools. Those are the most useful. I learned like that I use the most. I don't know why my mouse is flickering. I hope you can see that. So W would be the rotation tool. So you can rotate it here. Then V is the normal selection tool. And that is actually, oh yeah, G is the masking tool. The pen tool it's called. Yeah, here you go, that's G. Let's go back to the normal and press V. And then the camera tool is C, and you can actually scroll through those by pressing C again. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much all the ones I use. So that wasn't too exciting, I guess, but there you go. It's good to know that. What else? If you want to pre-render something, like RAM preview or something, it might take a while if you have a lot of effects on it, and you want to keep your RAM previews pretty fast and not take a long time out of your workflow. So what you want to do is first of all come up to a preview window. If you don't have that, go to window, then select preview, and there's your preview window. You ran preview here, and it just scrubs through now. And normally it's just like it doesn't go that fast. It's just RAM like basically rendering every single frame. Like it goes like that, and then it just plays through once it's finished, or once you tell it to. And to speed that up, you can actually set your frame rate either to let's say 25 frames or 30, because 30 frames is actually what YouTube plays at. So if you preview at 30 frames per second, that's how your video is going to look once you upload it to YouTube. So that's something. And second, you can skip frames here. That means it will actually let's look at that. See how it skipped that frame? Like the green ones are the rendered ones. That's the one you're gonna preview, and the other ones are just skipped. So if I had to push that to 5, you'd get a lot bigger holes, I guess. Yeah. So it basically skips some frames to keep your frame rate, to get your frame rate lower. So it's basically doing the same like if you drop your frame rate down here, but it's just adjusting to whatever frame rate you have in your actual composition. So that's actually useful to just set one time, and then it's just always going to skip one frame. And yeah. So it skips one frame, and so it only has to preview the half of the frames you want to preview, and that speeds up the RAM preview, obviously. And yeah, there you go. Then resolution is pretty obvious. You can set it to full, half, third, or even quarter, or even custom. I never used custom before, but yeah. So if your PC is running slow and you really want to just check something, how it looks in motion, set it to quarter. And sometimes you actually have to view it at full resolution, just because you want to see how something looks once it's all rendered, and how sharp the image is and something like that. You want to watch it at full resolution. I normally check from current time, but that has nothing to do with speeding up the process. It's just I like if I would not check that and I would press RAM preview, it would actually start at the start. I just like it to start where I have my little timer set, and then go render from there. Then with full screen, I never used it because it's taking a little bit too long for me. Because then you really want to have it at full resolution. And let's set it back to auto actually. Auto, by the way, is if you kind of zoom out, it goes to 50% of the image. So 100% would be 720 pixels in the in height, and then you zoom out to 50, that would be 360 pixels now. So that's how big the actual 360p video would be. And it automatically, if you have this set to auto, it automatically goes to half resolution, because at 50% half resolution does look exactly like if you would have the same one at 100% but at full resolution. So if you zoom out, you can actually render it in half resolution and have a pretty exactly an image of what it was gonna look like if you render it out at the end. So maybe you wanna preview your footage in 50% and still get a sharp image, and maybe I can actually show you that better if I just find something like, there you go, some random picture. I don't even know. Alright, there you go. So let's see, 50% looks sharp at half resolution, and that's 100%. But let's drop it to half now, and it looks blurry. I go back, perfectly sharp. And I hope you got what I meant. And yeah, probably not, because I'm pretty shit at explaining that, but you know what I mean, hopefully. And yeah, so that's that. And you don't always want to work, like if you don't have the fastest PC in the world, and you have like let's say a color correction that's taking up a lot of power from your PC and all that, and you want to speed up the thing, you can actually just shut down your color correction and just work with that. Then occasionally just put it back on to see how everything is looking, if it's not too dark or something like that, and yeah. But you don't want to put your CC on your clip at the end of the edit, just because sometimes it can be too dark in some spots and in some maps and something like that, so don't do that. Alright. So this is basically just to keep you fast with your renders and previews and all that, and yeah, and then basically what you want to do first of all, before you do all of that stuff I just showed you, is set up your window like you wanted to, I actually have two screens, so I could stretch this all out over two screens, but I don't like working like that, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to use two screens if you don't want to. And if you can work fast this way, you can actually just leave it like that. You don't actually have like a big advantage of you don't. It's actually a disadvantage to use two screens if you're not used to it, and everyone will tell you that. Don't just use two screens or the workspace you have if you're not comfortable with so much space. So just keep your size at something you're comfortable working with. Set your mouse to a sensitivity you're comfortable with. Set up your windows. Maybe even set up the color of your fucking After Effects. Let me see if I can actually find that. Project settings. Is it that? I actually don't think it is. Maybe it's window. That help, I mean. Well, somewhere you can actually set up like the color of your background, like how gray it is. I just like it a little bit darker than it is normally when you just install it, and that works pretty fine with me. I don't know why, it's just good. And yeah, all these things matter actually. You wouldn't think of that, but all these little things, they add up, and after all, you're getting faster and faster and faster. And of course it's about repetition, but knowing all these things, like these shortcuts, like bam, 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 you wanna have rotation, bam, and all that, it's just so useful. You wouldn't think of that at first, but basically when it comes down to knowing a program, it's not about knowing what effects it can do, but how fast you can apply those effects. And then basically you have more time to perfectionize it, because you saved your time by just knowing these shortcuts and all that, and it just helps out a lot, is what I'm trying to say, and just work on your workflow. And of course you're getting faster and faster over time as long as you do it. But you wanna, at some point, you just wanna go in, ask yourself, what do I use the most, learn a shortcut for that, and then just use that and start using it more recently. And at some point you just do it automatically, and it saves you a lot of time. And yeah, basically you can actually look up all these shortcuts, of course. Here you can learn all this, and yeah, so yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe is that it? No, fuck it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I know I've been rambling a lot. I know I've been saying the same shit all over again. And I want to thank you all for so much good support on Afterlife. It's been doing amazing for my channel standards, and let's see where it's at right now. I actually gained like nearly 50 subscribers now, and look at that. That's a peak. That's when Afterlife came out. And I'm just so happy. Like, it's at 800 views now, 141 likes. It's amazing for my channel. Like I look at what I normally get. It's like 50 views on my tutorials and all that, but on edits I get on a regular edit 110, like around 100 views, and I just 8 times that, and that's awesome. And yeah, it's copyrighted. Like fuck you, but obviously, thank you guys so much, and don't do drugs.